Hi again, it's me. So I said I was in a shower, but I forgot to mention one thing. And I know this is really random, but I'm a nurse. I am a nurse. I just finished this year, and my girlfriend as well is she's also a nurse. Um, and one of the things that I realize is very, very important in in the nursing field, in becoming a nurse, in going to the medical field, is language. The importance of language. And I'm not saying the way you talk or the way you speak. I mean, that is obviously very important also, but um, I mean being able to speak to another culture or another nationality, basically. Because obviously, for those of you out there who are also nurses, whether you're a brand new nurse like me, or you're a veteran nurse, or you're a retired nurse, whatever, um, we as nurses need to be um, very open-minded, very aware that our beliefs, that our culture is not the only one out there, obviously. I mean, I know it is common sense, but there are nurses that I have come across at my work and at other places that are very narrow-minded, that are very inconsiderate of other cultures and other people's religions and their faiths and everything. So I just wanted to make this video quickly to basically say that if you are a nurse, if you are in the medical field, it is very, 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 very important to be open-minded, to be very culturally aware, to not to be judgmental or narrow-minded when it comes to your patients, especially if your patient is of a different faith or of a different nationality, a different it's from another country, whatever. If they don't speak the same language as you, which is also why it's very important to take up another language. I mean, I was born in the States, so obviously English has been my primary language. But and especially going through high school, through middle school and everything, I was a very academic person. I was one of the top in my class. I um, graduated with my valedictorian salutatorian class through nursing school. I was the top three in my class, cum laude. So I was very fortunate to be very to be gifted in what I'm doing. So I'm very proud of that. But English has been my primary language. I mean, that's what I started with. I grew up with English, and so I'm very picky when it comes to my English words, everything. I don't speak like you see some of the teens or the kids or whatever how they speak nowadays. I speak very. I've been told I speak eloquently, which is kind of funny, but I mean, it's not like a Shakespearean kind of English, but I try to speak as um, correct English as I can. But also, growing up, I grew up also with my grandmother, who, obviously, like I said, I'm Filipino. She taught me the language of the Philippines, Tagalog, and I know I'm not perfect at it, but I can comprehend it, I can understand it, I can speak it, you know. And I'm thankful for that because a lot of Filipino Americans, like myself, who are born here in the States and raised in the States, have absolutely no idea, have absolutely no clue about how to speak Tagalog, or they don't understand a word, or you know, which for me is a little unfortunate, just because I know my roots. I've never lived in the Philippines, but I know that um, my heart was raised as a Filipino. Like my girlfriend says, yeah, I realize I haven't lived there, so culturally, true, we're different. But um, I could say that compared to a lot of typical American kids with that stereotype that they're very disrespectful, they're very rude, they do whatever they want. I was raised to be very aware that I am still a Filipino, that I should live my life as a Filipino, and that never forget your roots. So I'm thankful and I'm grateful that I am able to embrace my roots, embrace my culture, embrace my mother tongue, my language of Tagalog. So I'm able and I'm thankful to speak it. Me as a nurse, knowing that Filipinos are pretty much everywhere in terms of nursing and hospital staff, I'm thankful that I can share that one part of myself with them. Not only that I'm Filipino, but the fact that I can speak the language and that I can communicate with them. And also, my great grandmother, my grandfather's mother, is from Spain. I mean, a pure blooded Española. She is from Spain. And I learned how to speak Spanish in going through middle school and high school. I went up to Spanish 5, which is rare. Not many people can go up to Spanish 5 unless you're a native speaker. But the fact that I'm in love with languages and I'm able to speak it, I'm thankful that I have Spanish blood in me like many Filipinos do. But the fact that I can actually speak Spanish, that I can actually conversate, talk to a patient in Spanish, talk to a family in Spanish. Spanish is a very beautiful language. It's a very romantic language, just like Tagalog is. It's a very romantic. Tagalog is it's a mixture from the original Filipino language, the indigenous Filipino language, and and mixed with Spanish, since Spain controlled the Philippines for over 300 years. So the fact that I can speak both my mother tongue, Tagalog, I can speak English, I can speak Spanish, which is very essential in the healthcare field, especially here in America, because a lot of your patients are of Hispanic background or are from, countries where basically Spanish is the only language that they speak. So I'm very grateful to be also fluent in Spanish, including the vosotros. A lot of Spanish speakers, unless you're in Spain or some parts in Southern America where they speak with vosotros, which is very, very formal. But I mean, not really formal, but it's not as much used like in Mexico. They don't really use vosotros, they use ustedes. Like in Tagalog, for example, vosotros is equivalent to kayo, or yeah, kayo, because it's a plural of you, and ustedes is the same thing. It's a plural of you. So instead of saying, for example, como como estás, which would be how are you in Spanish, or musta ka in Tagalog, how are you, for one person, singular, you would say in Spanish, in with vosotros, you would say como estáis, which is how are you, as in plural, if you're speaking to more than one person. Or in Tagalog, kumusta kayo, which is how are you, plural. So, yeah. So basically, my point is, it's a great thing if you are a nurse or in the medical field, if you can take up more than one language aside from your mother language. Then it's very, very, very helpful, very essential. Not only do you get an extra pay, I mean, you get a bonus, but you're able to communicate with a whole range of patients, not just, not just this patient that can speak your language. You can speak to a patient that can speak English. You can talk to the next patient in Tagalog or in Spanish or in German, in Italian, in French, whatever. So it's a very important thing to learn another language, especially if you're in the healthcare field where you're dealing with patients from different countries, different faiths, and also be very aware that there are many faiths in the world, not just your own. Of course, stick with what you believe in, stick with your own faith, but be open-minded. There are other faiths in the world. I'm a Catholic. I will always be a Catholic, and I'm proud to be a Catholic. But be aware that there are faiths from Islam. Know that, especially during the month of Ramadan, or during let's see, during the moments of prayer, know that they have their traditions that they must do, especially Ramadan. They cannot eat from sunrise to sunset. Yeah, sunrise to sunset. They're basically NPO, nil per os. They're basically nothing by mouth all day, literally. And then you have people from Judaism who are of the Jewish faith, and they don't eat kosher, or they especially, for example, during the holidays, they celebrate Hanukkah. So you have many different faiths, many different religions. You may even have people who are of the faith of Buddhism or Taoism or Hinduism. Hinduism especially, there are many deities that they believe in. So be very aware of that, and also Just never be judgmental, never be narrow-minded. Because one of the things that really irks me is whenever I see people or nurses who are very inconsiderate of other people, of their language, of their faith, of their religion, everything. So for everyone out there who is a nurse, male or female, anywhere in the world, just be open-minded for the sake of your patients, so that they know that you are not someone to judge. You are there to heal, and you are there to accept them for who they are. All right? So if you don't speak another language, take up a book, take up a class, speak a language. If you're not really aware of the other faiths in the world, learn about it, read about it, take a class. I was fortunate enough to take a world religions course in college, so I'm very thankful that I've taken that, and it's helped me in my nursing experiences so far with different faiths, different religions, because I've had patients of millions of different faiths and millions of different languages. So never stop learning. Never stop learning. It's very important. Anyway, so I hope this helped, and if anybody sees this. So anyway, take care. Have a good day.